How's it going? Welcome to Let's Get Stringing. Today I'll be stringing my head Radical MP 2023 auxiliary version. It's the standard 300 gram 16 by 19 stringing pattern. So I just got done watching the 2023 US Open Women's Singles Final with Coco Gauff beating Arena Sabalenka. It was quite a match. I really enjoyed it. So without further ado, here we go with the racket stringing. Okay, I'm mounting it with the head logo side facing up for consistency. Get the side supports on first. Tightening up the billiards at 12 and 6 o'clock. And then tightening up the side supports again. Billiards. Making sure that the throat is no longer moving. And we'll start with our stringing. Today I'll be stringing at 48 pounds full bed. I'm going with this Luxilon Savage Black in the 127 millimeter gauge. I've used it on my Wilson Clash version 1 before. Now that Clash racket is very cushioned, so any stiff string that I put on it, I never felt any stiffness or any problems with joints like tennis elbow or painful wrist for that reason. Because the Clash, the reason why it's so expensive is that it's a very soft racket. It bends in all different ways, so it's able to absorb a lot of shock and vibration. So I'm curious to find out if I'll have any problems using this string on this 23 Radical, because head rackets are not as comfortable as some of the other ones I've used, for example like the Wilsons, especially comparing with the Clash. Stiffness rating on this racket is around the 65 area, so I guess I'll find out. This string is rated pretty stiff. It's not a soft string, so I will find out and report back to see how I like it. The 127 millimeters, slightly thicker than the 125 or the 120 thickness that I usually use. So recently I suffered an injured wrist. I just got done icing it up along with my injured ankle. The other day I rolled my ankle playing with a guy. So I already know that's gonna take me a few weeks to fully heal. I just hope that it does heal without that much long-term impact. So in order to help absorb some of the shock, I not only use this dampener like this Dunlop one, I also use these power pads, leather pads that I cut out myself. And the previous strings have made a deep groove in it, so what I do is I'll just rotate it 90 degrees and reuse them in this direction. I'm sure it's not gonna take out all of the shock and vibration. Some say that dampeners don't even take out any shock and vibration other than reducing the sound that it gives out, the string bed gives out. But to each his own, you know, whatever works. If you try something, you like it, keep doing it. If it doesn't work, then don't do it. That's been my motto. Doing no pre-stretch for the string because I find that pre-stretching raises the string bed tension by about half a pound to a pound, depending on the percentage of pre-stretch that's done. So I gotta remember to come back and put a power pad into this groove. In the meantime, I'll continue the other side. Recently, I find it very annoying that my auto release gravity clamps, they stop releasing themselves. I gotta adjust it previously to the point that it was working pretty good. I guess I'll have to try and adjust them again. There's just one or two screws that's needing to adjust. Power pad here. See, it's not dropping hard enough for the base clamp to release. I did modify this turntable already. I raised these two adjustable posts, both sides, by about 3/4 of a centimeter. My thinking was by raising them up higher, they'll drop. There'll be more drop, and it'll make the gravity release work better. And it was working good for a while. Had it like that for a few weeks. It was working good. Changed. You can tell this is a pretty stiff string. The coil memory, it's almost like a permanent thing. I ran them through my fingers before to try to take out some of these coiling effect, and that didn't help much. So, gotta come back to pull this side. Here's another power pad. You gotta hold it carefully, otherwise it drops and I'll never find it again on the ground. When I used it on the Clash, it gave me surprisingly good spin. I would have continued to use it, except that I had gotten rid of the Clash Pro. I was using actually I tried all versions. I owned the regular 100, 98, and the Clash Pro. I ended up liking the Pro the best. I think it's because it had the most headlight balance. the best control out of all the different versions. So I ended up switching to a different racket. So I wanted something with more control and more feedback. The thing with Clash is that you could hit it as hard as you want, but it has a tendency to absorb some of your power when you hit it very hard. The way it works is that's why I think it's more designed for more beginner intermediates, because you don't have to swing that hard for it to generate some pop for you. However, if you're more like intermediate and advanced player, you're able to generate your own power, and you want the amount of racket head speed input going into it to have equal amount, not more energy return coming back. But with the Clash, that's not always the case. A lot of times the power that you put into it can get sucked into the racket. So the feedback isn't always that satisfying. As you can see, I've given up using the gravity release function just now. I'm pressing the release button on the base clamp. Okay, on both the head and the throat, I skipped number 8 grommet holes. That's the only skip needed on this racket. So with the tie-off knot tension added, instead of pulling 48 pounds, I was pulling something like 53 pounds. Again, on this side, I've skipped grommet number 8 on the throat as well as on the head. So I'm going to ping my strings for the sound. As you can see, this string was the one that was clamped off right here with the anchor clamp. That has just slightly more tension, so I'm just trying to manually stretch it so the tension can equal on these two. So they reverse themselves. Now they're about the same. Second set, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. Okay, because these last few, I just strung them after this size, so the last few sounded higher. But for the majority of the sweet spot, they sound the same now. Let's check them again. That was the wrong one. it's kind of hard to see which string is which. Okay, that's close enough. We'll go ahead and tie them off. After rewatching the video, I found out that the third and fourth main string on the right side had a higher pitch sound due to the wrong positioning of the power pad. As you can see on the picture, the first power pad on the right was off-centered. And those are exactly covered by the third and fourth string over them. This stringer has the manual lock function on the turntable. I could lock this turntable like so, like so. This will make my tie off easier because the table won't turn and fight you. This tensioner has a electronic lock built into the menu, but it's not hooked up to an actual mechanical lock for it to be able to function, I guess. There's no actuator, no nothing. See, this grommet is where I previously tied off. That's in a better shape than this grommet, so I'm gonna try to reuse that side again. Therefore, I have to start from the opposite side, like so. I'm gonna see if I can get this done in under 40 minutes, because recently 45 minutes seems to be my norm. If I didn't have to record for YouTube, I could probably get it done in about half an hour, 35 minutes to do a good job on. But usually I value quality over speed. feeling it's not gonna work out like this. Ay, ay, ay. That's better. will be the last pre-weave that I do. And the 2 remaining strings will have to be hard weaves. As you can see, this is just barely enough to go around the tension head. I wonder if statistically more mistakes are made on black colored strings versus other colors, or dark colored strings in general. Because this color, the black colored string, is the one that's making me string the slowest because it doesn't have enough contrast. It just blends into the color of my turntable when I'm stringing. So it takes me longer, it takes my eyes longer to adjust to everything. Okay, this is the last string. Yes, on this racket I actually put an extra string in and use a shear hole on this. But I mean, for a player at my level, I highly doubt it's necessary, or if it's even gonna help me. I'm a top spin player. I don't hit that flat. So even if I hardly ever break any polyester strings. If I ever do, it's usually on the mains and not the crosses, because I hit pretty flat. The string has, I just want to get some of the twisting reversed. Let me get the 10% knot tension added on. Left myself enough room right here above the tie-off knot in order to tie it off. Okay, normally I make it a habit of putting lube on my strings as soon as it gets off the stringer. I put loops in these intersections around the string bed. It helps with the poly snapback. I should have checked it before I tied off on the tie-off knot. After I tie off, it'd be pretty hard to save any misweaves unless I can carefully back off the knot. It's possible, but it's not advisable. Okay, I did it under 40 minutes. Cool. Thank you very much for watching. Happy hitting. Feels pretty good in my hand. See you next time.